Are you a Nation of Islam Muslim?
Yes.
This whole narrative we hear, the white man is the devil. Do you believe,
The white man is the devil?
is that what you've been taught? Is the white man the devil?
Yes.
Where is your basis for that belief?
I looked at all the things that they created, the bombs, the guns, and I went back and saw all the things they did. Of us, and what we created, and what we are trying to push forward into the world, which is peace, love, togetherness.
What about white Muslims?
I've got no problems with them.
So skin color isn't the issue. Actions and beliefs are something which you can critique and say maybe this person's actions is satanic action. When you say something like the white man is the devil, this is something which is highly problematic, because being a particular skin color is not your choice. It's something which God made you in that way. That doesn't make you inherently evil, irrespective of what skin color they have. We don't link that to a particular ethnicity. This is where racism comes from.
Assalamu alaikum. To all the people commenting about how Elijah Muhammad teaches the white man is the devil, and you all believe that, all white people are devils. This is the problem with surface dwelling, with just taking one word and running with it, not attempting to understand, not attempting to hear the full context or the full picture. Actually, we need to know our true history, and the man that God spoke and brought that true history and the knowledge through, his name is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There's something that is different about us as white people, which is evidenced by the record of our own history. Then wouldn't we want to know what that is and why that is? And then most importantly, what is the healing process? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought an equalizing teaching that destroys the mind of white supremacy and brings us back into balance with the rest of the human family, and destroys the mind of black inferiority, because black people have been destroyed mentally and spiritually by white people from slavery. The Willie Lynch letter. We got to look into the Willie Lynch letter. We all need a knowledge of our true history. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought that knowledge into the world. So like it or hate it, take it or leave it. Truth is truth, and it can be proven in no limited time. And I bear witness that accepting this truth, studying and learning about it has elevated me in my life, in my own knowledge of self, my own self-image. It has made me into a productive human being with a mission and a purpose given to me by Allah God. We all need this. So the idea that the Nation of Islam preaches hate against white or Caucasian people, we need to move on. That is so old and so untrue, and more of us will be coming to bear witness to this truth. Assalamu alaikum.
Who told you that white was a skin color? This is why it's important to study what it is you're criticizing before you criticize it. And I'm not talking about what you heard based on some propaganda. I'm talking about an in-depth study of the topic that you're going to speak on. Anyone that has deeply studied the Nation of Islam knows that man means mind. And this is not just something made up by the nation. The etymology of the word man confirms this. If white was talking about skin color, then black albinos who are whiter than most so-called white people would be devils too. So according to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it's the white mind that perpetuates evil actions that makes you devil. Now, there is no reputable scholar that studies the history of human beings that would ever say that white is a biological skin color or any skin color at all. White is a social construct. White people, the English term popularized as a racial category in America, is a modern colonial invention used to provide the logic for genocide and slavery. So you can't separate white and white supremacy. You can't separate white and colonization. You can't separate white and slavery. And you can't separate white and genocide. Because all of these deviant ideologies are embedded in the term itself. And anyone that carries these ideologies with them is a devil. Does the Quran not call evil people the Shayateen? There's a reason why many Jewish people don't call themselves white, even though most of the time they're indistinguishable from who we would classify as white people. Maybe they know the true meaning of that term. So yes, identifying as a white person, which means everything associated with it, is a choice.
There is no evil spirit. There is no red devil with horns. The devil is a literal phenomenon. The ruling powers of this world, the international bankers, the white powers of the world, the white powers of all cultures, the white powers that run all countries presently are the literal devil. So yes, the white man is the devil. That's a fact. And this is the same man, human, who was created by the Elohim, i.e. the gods, Anunnaki, in the beginning. These are the same people, the colonizers. They are the devil, the creators of discord upon the planet. Literally, the white man is the devil. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamin. I am Ital Iman. So, we're going to look at a little bit of information from the book, The Esoteric Malcolm X, being that Nation of Islam is the circumpunct of this reverberation vibration sent out by the mystic teacher, Master Elijah Muhammad, when the teachings were pure. Critics of the order argue against the fact that white man is the evil, the devil. To illustrate, if the white man is the evil or devil, i.e., we will take a chapter out of the life of Malcolm X, being that the devil has whispered into the mind of history that when Malcolm went to Mecca, he reviewed and solved the great mystery. It is purported by Satan in the flesh that this gradual enlightenment blossomed from an epiphany at Mecca, where he witnessed the melting pot of races preforming the Hajj ritual. And it was written, Malcolm X traveled to Mecca in April 1964, where he experienced a transformative pilgrimage that significantly influenced his views on race and religion. It was not suddenly, the white man is not the devil. The conversion of Malcolm X to Orthodox Islam was a subtle one from the whisperings of one Dr. Osman, then a young Sudanese student who caused Malcolm to start doubting his belief. In a documentary, Osman said Malcolm sent him a letter, asked him to interpret the surah, i.e. chapter in Quran about the blue-eyed, as Elijah Muhammad had told the nation that the blue-eyed devil was the white man. Osman said that was an indication that Malcolm started doubting his own belief, which is a lie, which indicates Osman himself is the devil, is a devil. He eludes the fact that it was his job to convince Malcolm. He was wrong because Malcolm did not know the language. So Osman convinced Malcolm that he was wrong. He accepted the words of the demon Osman, Malcolm did. He also asked Osman to explain Surah 5 and verse 51, where it says, do not take the Jews and Christians as your friend, because they are friends to each other, and whoever take them as friends are one of them. And surely Allah guides not the unjust people. Osman says in a documentary that this shows Malcolm's doubting his own belief system, but it reveals that Osman is surely a devil. He is a true deceiver. So we look at the 8th word of verse 20 of chapter 20, Surah 20, verse 102. And when we look at when it says, and when the trumpet is blown, and we shall gather the guilty blue-eyed on that day. The blue-eyed here is not a metaphor. It is a literal description, as a footnote 1601a states in Quran, Maulana Malinga, i.e. Maulana Muhammad Ali's translation. The word Zurq, Z-U-R-Q, means blue-eyed, according to BD. Blue being the color of the eyes of Rum, i.e. the Greeks or Romans, who were hated by the Arabs. That color blue by the Arabs was the worst color for eyes, the Arabs said at that time. So we must note that in 610 Common Era CE, that's the same as Anno Domini AD. The Arabs at that time, 7th century, were black. That must be understood, because when we hear Arabs in the time of the Prophet Muhammad, people think white Arabs, those devils that have taken over the world. Historical evidence suggests that many Arabs, now this is like here reviewed information. So it'll read like historical evidence suggests that many Arabs in the Arabian Peninsula, including the region of Mecca in the early 7th century, possessed dark skin complexions, with some historical accounts describing them as black or dark brown, when they all were black at that time. The conspiracy hadn't came about yet. The colonizers hadn't came about yet. So in the region, the regional ethnicity, historical sources indicate that southern and central Arabians often had dark skin tones, and some early Muslim sources, including Al-Jahiz, say that they were black and they were called Ethiopians. So we must keep in mind that it was this devil, Osman, who sent Malcolm and Betty, his wife, to Mecca. So this is the Osman that invited Malcolm to join the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood. So Mosque, the Orthodox Sunni, he was priming him for the Sunni movement. So there was a objective of this clandestine group to change Malcolm's mind from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Notice how Malcolm became very famous because of he denounced the teachings of a black man. So they don't want a young black man to be taught by elder black man, by a master. That's just the mindset of the devil. So this Osman influenced Malcolm to become a Sunni Muslim. They started out having a debate about the word Zurq, which means blue eyes. So Osman first, when he first met Malcolm, he told Malcolm that he was incorrect about that. So they had like a dispute, and Osman had to leave. So they promised to keep in touch with each other. So they disagreed on it. Malcolm had been taught the truth, but Osman told him that what Elijah was saying was not true. So that kind of shook Malcolm, being a young black man, and there's this Sudanese guy. And for some reason in those days, black people were influenced by foreigners. So Osman left and went to Geneva, Switzerland, started corresponding with Malcolm, sending him propaganda and just pumping his head full of lies. And so Malcolm succeeded. He sent some information, propaganda from white Jewish Muslim converts. So Malcolm saw Osman as an authority. And Malcolm's mind slowly becoming influenced. He accepted the fact he became a jihadi. He come to the realization that he was a fighter for justice. And he accepted the fact that he had become a martyr. This is why he didn't want any protection at the Audubon Ballroom. He considered himself a jihadi, a martyr. And this is the truth of the conspiracy. You could check the book, Esoteric Malcolm. And I sat down with the Anas Luqman, the assassin, close confidant of Malcolm. I learned a lot of things from the inner circle. That's why I was able to write these books concerning Luqman, concerning the esoteric side of Malcolm. Malcolm was a young man, easily to influence. So yes, to answer that question, the white man is literally the devil. Elijah Muhammad knew that. Like Bob Marley said, the mighty God is a living man, so is the devil a living man. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. Here we are, 2 days before the end of Ramadan, March 17, the year 2026. In the year 1930, a very pivotal year, few hundred years up from slavery, there came to this planet cosmically, divinely, astronomical, two events came to us. The movement of the Nation of Islam under the master mystic, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, simultaneously the Rastafari movement led by His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, Haile Selassie I. These two movements was for our redemption. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad explained to us the evil that we were embedded in, the evil blue-eyed, the white devil, the colonizers. We must face this fact currently that we have been hoodwinked, as Malcolm said, run amok. We have been tricked to accept the ways of the beast. We must know the nature of the beast. We have become casualties of this great war. Integration was a downfall. These have been psychological warfares, information wars. This is on many levels. Now we're at a reset period where everything is digital. The digital Tower of Babel has been built. We are under the control of Baal. The Wall Street Bull symbolizes Baal. We know what's going on in the world. We don't need to talk about the cannibalism that's taking place. This is Sodom and Gomorrah on steroids. So everybody's mind has been blown. Love has nothing to do with it. We know we are loving people, but we're under the influence of Satan, literal devil, white men of power. We must wake up if we can to realize the poles are shifting. The world has become helter-skelter. Why? Because of Satan, the evil blue eyes. So we must think of saving ourselves. They, the evil blue eye, will not save us. Their objective is to kill us and to survive themselves. They have been trying to kill us for years upon years upon years. We spent over 400 years in chattel slavery, bondage, and chains. We've been murdered, hung from trees. They want us to forget that. You can't forget that. It's not for us to forget that. It's not for us to forgive. Life itself, God itself is the judge. Karma is the judge. So what you do, you must be paid. Nature will pay them. The poles are shifting. 3i Atlas have been sending us messages. We know what's fixing to happen. So it's time to come from among them if you can. There are many casualties of war: homosexuality, lesbianism, cannibalism, pedophilia, running the streets like mad dogs foaming at the mouth. America has become a cage of every foul and unclean bird. So put it in your minds that you are captive still. Your seed has been mixed with their seed. You have become something that genetically that you are not. You have been inoculated. You have been jabbed. You have been breathed in chemicals from the air. You're not yourself anymore. You're a weak, dying being like the earth. They have destroyed the earth. Devils are smiling, talking about war. Makes no damn sense. War makes no sense whatsoever, but it's their ball, their Wall Street, their money. Money is their God. The golden calf is their God. The devil has no soul. That is the reality. Now they come on and talk about you shouldn't be racist. You should forget. They are subtle beings like serpents. The white Arabs, the wannabe white Indians, everybody that the ruling establishment, Illuminati, you call, they're not Illuminati, they're fools, they're crazy. So they have tricked you. Now, if you don't believe that, you're going to hell with them. But something is happening right now. 2027, the 11th Dogon Siege in 600 years. Things have changed. So this is the message of the hour. The message of the hour is that we have been deceived. We have become robots. From 1948, turn the last two numbers around, we're in 1984. Big Brother, the all-seeing eye, has taken total control. You have white women smiling from the Nation of Islam. They are subtle serpents. Many of you cannot get to that, but the Nation of Islam has become Scientology. A lot of you can't get to that. A lot of you will be upset, but this is the Great Reset. You're talking about you're woke. If you were woke, you would be running. You would be screaming. You would be hollering, yelling, afraid. If you knew what was going on. You have whites in the Rastafari movement. In their hearts, they're taking over. They're not Rasta. They know they're not Rastafari. Cream in the coffee to make it weak. But we have accepted that because we have been charmed by the serpent. And we don't speak out because we are afraid. We're not woke. That's the reality. When you wake up and realize who you've been sleeping with, you would run. It wasn't for us to mix blood. It was for us to learn from each other. And it was for the black man to control the scenario because a black man is a God man. You're running around, jumping up and down, talking about you were the first and you was the kings and all this, but art is functional. It's functional. We hadn't taken advantage of the technology, the AI. We're not taking advantage. We're in a fantasy land. Afrofuturism, a term some white man created, and we're following this sick vibration, killing each other on drugs, painting our hair different colors, becoming sodomites. You're not woke. You're still eating meat. You're eating humans, eating at McDonald's. We're in the process of bringing forth the Banneker grid, that you understand what has been taking place. And the Banneker grid is a literary work and a musical work coming soon. And this information is very important at this time. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't mean for the nation to go the way that it's going. The Emperor Haile Selassie didn't mean for the Rastafari to go to sleep. The Rastafari is a progressive movement, not a stagnant pond. And we have become a stagnant pond. Old mossy pond, frog jumping in. The sound of water. I am Ital Iman, your brother. It's time to wake up if you can. Think about it. Nation of Islam, controlled by the spirit of L. Ron Hubbard. Now, if you understood the background of L. Ron Hubbard, and who were his cronies, you would run. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. The time is not right for that to be revealed, but it will be revealed. This is the apocalypse. This is the zombie apocalypse, the night of the thriller. You are now in tune on the one. Think about it though. You look at the Nation of Islam. Black. What progress do you make by inviting white people? This is a revolution. Up from slavery. Do for self. Become independent. You don't control anything. So now you're being controlled by the spirit of Satan. Literally, Rastafari, Islam, Nation of Islam, are being controlled by the spirit of the beast. Literally, evil magic spell has been put on the black race. They're asleep. But soon, not like it was, we've been hollering for years. Mothership is on her way. A lot of people laugh, but you believe in little gray aliens. But when you say mothership and then come on over to this channel. Listen, invite your friends over. Start listening at the videos. We free our people with music, so the message has always been in the music. Start listening to what we're saying here. It's designed to wake you up. All the rhetoric everybody else is saying, it's nothing but rhetoric. We're going to close this right now. 2 days left in Ramadan. We're dealing with the vibration of the night of power. I am Etal Iman.
As it was foretold from days of old, Atlantis would once again rise from the sea. In the land of bondage, America the great, our true home, where the buffalo, the elephant, the camel did roam. Upon the land where our minds became free, the land where great Atlantis used to be. Black man rise again. From a dark night, truth light, the rising sun reveals the lie of time. Satan stole the land from the black man. Atlantis rising, Satan the European will never do it again. Earthquake, fire, brimstone, hurricane, return of the super ape to the torrid jungles. Head skater, the abominable snowman screaming from the massive Caucasus mountain range, separating Europe and Asia. Prepare for the sudden earthquake, the dismantling of the Eurasian tectonic plates. Truth like a log from the heavens, crashing upon the head of Mount Shasta right on. The mighty tsunami erasing the European stronghold. Prepare for the holy master blaster jamming, return of the super ape, the upsetter. Of the scatterers and the heavens, we raised it high with power, and we are makers of the vast extent. And the earth, we have spread it out, how well we prepared it. And the people of Noah before, surely they were a transgressing people. For the Europeans, judgment is sure, as it was foretold from days of old. Atlantis would once again rise from the sea. This is that day when the black man would be free. In his realization, Yeti the abominable snowman screams from Mount Shasta, the Himalayas tremble. Yeti, Sasquatch, the Europeans all ranging in ranks, as if preparing for war, like looking into the mirror of time, reflecting they remembered their past. Until now was just bits and fragments of dreams. Realization they had come. It is said that the spider monkeys that are in the forest today are descendants of these people. This was their heritage because their flesh was merely wood when it was created by the framer and the shaper. Therefore the spider monkeys appear like people, descendants of one generation of framed and shaped people. flood was produced by the heart of heaven, a great flood. It was formed which fell on the heads of the stick dogs. From Teman's flesh was made, but when the woman was carved by the Creator and the Maker, the flesh of the woman was made of bulrush. And so you see, in time the European accomplished nothing before the Maker. Modella, who gave them birth, gave them heart, they became the first numerous people here on the face of the earth. Again there comes a humiliation, destruction and demolition. The mannequins, wood carvings were killed when the heart of sky devised a flood. For them a great flood was made. It came down on the heads of the mannequins, wood carvings. The man's body was carved from the wood of the coral tree by the Maker, Modilla. And as for the woman, the Maker, Modilla, needed the pith of reeds for the woman's body. They were not competent, nor did they speak before the builder and sculptor who made them and brought them forth. And so they were killed, done in by a flood. There came a rain of resin from the sky. There came the one named Goger of faces. He gouged out their eyeballs. There came sudden bloodletting. He snapped off their heads. There came crunching jaguar. He ate their flesh. There came tearing jaguar. He tore them open. They were pounded down to the bones and tendons smashed and pulverized. Even to the bones their faces were smashed, because they were incompetent before their mother and their father, the heart of sky, named Hurricane. The earth was blackened because of this. The black rainstorm began. Rain all day and rain all night. Into their houses came the animals, small and great. Their faces were crushed by things of wood and stone. Everything spoke. Their water jars, their tortilla griddles, their plates, their cooking pots, their dogs, their grinding stones. Each and everything crushed their faces. Their dogs and turkeys told them, "You caused us pain, you ate us, but now it is you whom we shall eat." And this is the grinding stone. We were undone because of you. Every day, in the dark, in the dawn, and forever, rub right in our faces because of you. This was the service we gave you at first when you were still people, but today you will learn of our power. We shall pound and we shall grind your flesh. Their grinding stones told them, and this is what their dogs said when they spoke in their turn: "Why is it you can't seem to give us our food? We just watch and you just keep us down, and you throw us around. You keep a stick ready when you eat, just so you can hit us. We don't talk, so we've received nothing from you." How could you not have known? You didn't know that we were wasted. This is from Instrument of Sight or Vision, the herbal poetry of Popalvo and Italy man. You are now in tune. Roll it again until the end. Rasta sing. We don't talk, so we've received nothing from you. How could you not have known? You didn't know that we were wasting away there behind you. So this very day you will taste the teeth in our mouths. We shall eat you, the dogs told them, and their faces were crushed. And then their tortilla griddles and cooking pots spoke to them in turn. Pain, that's all you've done for us. Our mouths are sooty, our faces are sooty. By setting us on the fire all the time, you burn us. Since we felt no pain, you try it, we shall burn you. All their cooking pots said, crushing their faces. The stones, their heart stones were shooting out, coming right out of the fire, going for their heads, causing them pain. Now they run for it helter-skelter. They want to climb up on the houses, but they fall as the houses collapse. They want to climb the trees, they're thrown off by the trees. They want to get inside caves, but the caves slam shut in their faces. Such was the scattering of the human work, the human design. The people were ground down, overthrown. The mouths and faces of all of them were destroyed and crushed. And it used to be said that the monkeys in the forest today are a sign of this. They were left as a sign, because wood alone was used for their flesh by the builder and sculptor. So this is why monkeys look like people. They are a sign of a previous human work, human design. Mere mannequins, mere wood carvings. This was when there was just a trace of early dawn on the face of the earth. There was no sun, but there was one who magnified himself. Seven Macaw is his name. The sky earth was already there, but the face of the sun moon was clouded over. Even so, it is said that his light provided a sign for the people who were flooded. He was like a person of genius in his being. I am great, my place is now higher than that of the human work, the human design. I am their sun and I am their light, and I am also their months. So be it, my light is great. I am the walkway and I am the foothold of the people, because my eyes are of metal, my teeth just glitter with jewels, and turquoise as well, they stand out, blue with stones like the face of the sky. And this nose of mine shines white into the distance like the moon. Since my nest is metal, it lights up the face of the earth. When I come forth before my nest, I am like the sun and moon for those who are born in the light, begotten in the light. It must be so, because my face reaches into the distances. Seven Macaw. It is not true that he is the sun, this Seven Macaw. Yet he magnifies himself, his wings, his metal, but the scope of his face lies right around his own perch. His face does not reach everywhere beneath the sky. The faces of the sun, moon, and stars are not yet visible. It has not yet dawned. And so Seven Macaw puffs himself up as the days and the months, though the light of the sun and moon has not yet clarified. He only wished for surpassing greatness. This was when the flood was worked upon the mannequins, wood carvings, and now we shall explain how Seven Macaw died when the people were vanquished, done in by the mason and sculptor.